am audible clearly to everyone. So let's start the session, right? So I have made a PPT by which I will going to teach you guys, right? So it's a series of banking lectures are going to be there. So basically, firstly, I'm going to teach you about the quant section of banking. So as you know, guys, as you can see the name of the topic, it's Vedic Maths, right? Right. The reason behind why I have picked this particular topic on my very first class, because as you all know, the banking exams are totally based upon calculations, right? It's totally based upon calculation, right? The fast you are going to calculate something, the more faster you're going to get your results, right? Hope so I am audible to everyone, right? Fine. So I just told you why I have picked this topic as the very first lecture, because the calculation part in banking exams are very crucial, very important. We need to understand um, how these calculation can be done easily, and there are certain ways, right? If a question is given in front of you and it has to be solved in a minute, so there is a certain shortcut tricks, there is certain shortcut calculation by which you can do the calculation in a faster way and you can get the desired results, right? Now, as you can see, the topic is Vedic Maths, and in the Vedic mathematics, we are going to deal about few things, right? In the later on videos, I will going to discuss about the multiplication of two-digit number. Like there are n number of tricks we are going to discuss in this series of quant. So, firstly, in this particular class, I have picked the very small, I can say, very simple part of Vedic mathematics, that is squaring of numbers, right? Again, if I will ask the students that to remember the square numbers, right? So it is going to be very tough, challenging task to them to remember the square numbers and cube numbers, right? So we have square numbers, how to calculate the square numbers within a second without using any kind of a calculator, any kind of a, I can say, any kind of a like a time consuming process. It is not going to be like that. So if you're going to remember few of the tricks, it can be done very easily, very fastly, right? Now, so in the first series of video, that is totally based upon Vedic Maths, and the Vedic Maths we are going to discuss about square of numbers, right? So primarily I will going to teach you the square of numbers from 1 to 1000, right? I think I have to change the color of the pen. Fine. Now I think it is going to be visible. Fine. So 1 to 1000, the first 1000 number I have, we are going to pick and we are going to find the squares without using any kind of calculator or calculation. So just you have to learn few things, right? And then it can be done very easily, right? Now, again, let me change the slide. Fine, looks great. Just a second. And yeah, it's done. Fine. Right. Now, it has not been changed, right? Fine, 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 fine. Got the point. Just a second. Here we go. Here we are going to clear all these drawings. Right. Now, so in the squaring of numbers, I will going to write once again square of numbers. And how many numbers I have told you? 1 to 1000. So in 1 to 1000 numbers, I have divided these square numbers in three different categories, right? Category 1, category 2, and category 3, right? In category 1, I have picked those numbers, picked numbers which ends on 5, right? I have picked those numbers which ends on 5. For an example, if I will give you the example like 25, like 65, like 95, and so, right? Similarly, in the second segment of the squaring of numbers, I have picked numbers which is nearby 100, right? For an example, 102, 112, 109, and so, as well as number which are less than 100 as well. For an example, 97, 91, 70, we can take 79, and so, right? So these are the numbers I have picked. Now, the last part of this particular segment is going to be, we are going to pick the numbers which nearby 50. Now, that's all. Just we have to learn about these three different category of numbers, and our squaring, the way you have squared the numbers till now is totally going to be changed, right? And the motive of this particular session is to make your calculation fast, as because in the banking exams the calculation is going to be one of the crucial factor, right? If you're going to be if you are good with the calculation, you can do the question very fastly. So that is the motive behind picking of this particular topic, right? Now let me show you, just a second. Right. Just we are going to learn these things first. Then I will going to show you where in the banking exams these tricks will going to be helpful for us. Right now, so just going to start with the very first category of numbers which I have picked, which ends on 5. Right now, whenever a number ends on 5, right? Generally, I will ask my students to tell me some of the squared numbers which ends on 5. For an example, I will ask them what is the square of 5, then 15, then 25, and so, right? Now, when I will going to ask the square, because these three numbers are going to be easy and most of the students will going to answer this these square numbers. But once I will going to ask the square of 45, 35, so it is quite difficult, and it will be easy if you know the trick how to do the calculation, how to solve it very easily and fastly. Then you also going to be answer these questions very easily, right? So whenever a number ends on 5, just remember one particular trick, right? Whenever a number ends on 5, the resultant number means the square number of that particular number. The resultant number always ends on 25. This is what you have to remember it in these particular set of square numbers, right? So whenever a number ends on 5, again I am repeating, whenever a number ends on 5, just remember this: in the resultant number, the last two digits are going to be 25, right? Now, let us calculate the remaining numbers, and we are going to calculate the same thing with the help of a example, right? For an example, we have to calculate the square of 45, right? Again, it's a very first category of number which ends on 5. So in that case, I can directly say in the resultant number, the last two digits are going to be 25, right? Now, how to calculate the remaining like remaining numbers, right? Because 25 is not the square of 45, right? For that, what you have to do, just pick the number which is present at the 10th place, right? So the number, this is said to be the unit digit, right? Unit digit number, and the number which is present here, that is said to be the 10th place digit number, right? And add 1 into this number, right? Just add 1 into this number. So 4 plus 1, it is going to be 5, right? Right? Now, after adding 1 to the given number, just multiply the numbers, right? Just multiply the numbers, right? It means what? 4 into 5, the resultant number is going to be 20, and just write it down over here. So this is the square of 45, right? Hope so. It's making sense to all the students who are present, who are watching this particular video, right? And again, we are going to start the series of the quant for the banking from the scratch, right? So your participation, your subscription, your liking is going to be the only motivation for us to make such a video, such a great quality video, and we are going to improve in the later stages as well, right? So this is the square of first category of numbers. Let us pick few more numbers to understand how the trick work whenever the number ends on 5, right? So let's pick few more numbers, right? Just a second. I will going to erase all this, right? Right. So just remember now we have three category of numbers. Firstly, we are now on the very first category of numbers. We are going to practice some of the questions. Then we are going to pick the second category, which is nearby 50, and the third category, which is going to be the number which are nearby 50. Right. Now, I will going to clear all the drawings, right? If you wanted to write these things, right, you can pause the video and you can write it down on your notebook, right? And just try to make one separate notebook of this particular subject. If you are very much serious about this particular subject, then you have to make a like separate notebook from this particular subject as well, right? Now, let's start discussing the same thing. The first category of numbers, which ends on 5. Let's take few more examples based upon that. Take the example of 35. First of all, 35. Right now, again, number ends on 5. So, what I told you, the last two digits are going to be 25. Right? Now, for the remaining number, what we have to do? Just pick the 10th place digit, which is 3, and add 1 to the number, right? So it is going to be 4. So the number is going to be 3 into 4, which is going to be 12. So 1225 is the square of 35. Let's pick some more numbers as well. Let us pick 65. Again, this number ends on 5, right? You can pause the video, you can calculate it, and you can again you can match the answer whether you're getting the right answer or not, right? So again, the number ends on 5. The last two digits are going to be 25. For the remaining number, so 6 is the number which is present at the 10th place, right? Add 1 to this number, it is going to be 7. So the number is going to be 7 into 6, which is going to be 42. So 4225 is the square of 65. Let's take one more number, 105, right? So this number ends on what? 5 again. In the resultant number, we are going to have 25, right? Now, for the remaining numbers, now in this particular case, you have to pick two numbers from this particular side because it's a three-digit number, so we have to pick two numbers, right? So which two numbers? This two. So 10 means 10. Add 1 into this number, which is going to be 11. 11 into 10, which is going to be 110. So 11025 is the square of 105. Let's pick one more number, 115, right? 115 is a number. Again, it ends on 5. So the resultant number ends on 25 only. We have two numbers, which is 11. So 11 plus 1, which is going to be 12, right? So 12 into 11, which is going to be 132. Now, how can we multiply this 11 into 12, right? It's a very simple calculation, right? Again, we have these two multiplication, right? Rather than multiplying by writing down the numbers, just split the numbers in your mind, right? This 11 can be splitted in two numbers like 10 plus 1, right? Now, whenever I will going to multiply this 12 by 10, we are going to have 120 because just we have to put 10 after the number, right? And after multiplying this 1 by 12, we are going to have 12. So that is going to be 132. So this is how you can break the numbers in your mind and you can multiply it very easily. And the same tricks we are going to discuss it in the later on videos, right? So just let's take some more examples based upon the same, right? Let us take the example 95. We have to find the square of 95. So we have this number, right? So again, it ends on 5. So the last two digits are going to be 25, right? For the remaining numbers, and which number we have at the 10th place, that is 9. So just add 1 to this number, which is going to be 10. So the number is going to be 9 into 10, which is going to be 90, right? So 9025 is the square of 95, right? Similarly, guys, I will going to give you some numbers which you have to calculate by your own, right? So I will going to clear, hope so you can again pause the video and you can write down, you can note down the things, right? uh, right, so few of the numbers I will going to give you as your homework, or I can say just to practice, just to in the maths partner, the more you're going to practice, the more you're going to be perfect, right? So just write down few of the numbers. For an example, 125, we have we have 135, right? Then we have 75, we can take 85. So just practice these numbers now, right? And tell me the answer in the comment section, right? And yeah, so we have finished the first category of numbers, which the numbers, square of numbers, which ends on 5, right? Now the second category of numbers we are going to do in the next particular video. I just going to make the videos very short so that you can like don't have to invest lots of time in the one particular video, right? So these are the numbers which ends on 5. So the next in upcoming video I will going to discuss about the last two categories of numbers, the square of those numbers which are nearby 100 and the numbers which are nearby 50, as well as we are going to cover the square numbers up to 1000, right? So for this particular video, right, I'm just ending the session, right? So if you have any doubt in related to these numbers, that the point till we have discussed it, you can ask your doubts in the comment section. Definitely we are going to see it and we are going to revert you back, right? So thank you all of you.